Hello beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel. I should say welcome back to my channel to myself. This is more for myself than anyone else. It has been a very long 5 years since I have made a YouTube video. So much has changed. If you hear little clickety clacks and breathing in the background, I have a dog. I've had her for 5 years. My parents got a dog. He's here. I got married. So much has changed, and I really missed making content. I love YouTube. I feel like in the rise of Reels and TikTok, YouTube is where my heart is. I watch so much YouTube. So yeah, so much has changed, and I'm happy to say that I am back. I don't want to put like a schedule on how many times I'll be filming, because let's be real, if I haven't made a video in 5 years, I don't think I'm gonna go from 0 to 100 and start making them bi-weekly or 2 a week, whatever. So today, we're just starting today. We're taking it day by day, but I'm so happy to be back, and I hope you guys will follow along on my new journey. For my first video back, I wanted to do a March reading roundup, and yes, I know today is April 14th. We are deep into a new month, but life has been lifing. I am very busy. I work as a full-time nail tech and I do marketing on the side. So much has changed, like I said. So I wanted to do a reading roundup, and in preparation for this video, I did my homework and I was looking up other videos of a March reading roundup, and I feel like an illiterate piece of poop. You know, there are people on here that read like 11, 15, 20, 30 plus books in the month of March, whereas I only read 3, and that felt like a major accomplishment. I'm really ashamed to say that in the year 2024, I read 0 books. I started like a couple, but I never finished them. I was planning a wedding, I was getting married, and starting a new career in nails, and I just didn't read. I love to watch TV, so reading 3 in March felt like a huge accomplishment for me. And you know, March is the 3rd month, so why not read 3 books in March? These are the 3 books I read. We have Yellowface, The House Across the Lake, and spoiler alert, my favorite of the month, Beach Read. So let's start with Yellowface. I kind of avoided this book because the cover, I just thought it was like, this is gonna sound so bad, but I just thought it was a book about like being Asian, and I'm adopted, so I don't have like the same upbringing that a lot of other Asian Americans have, so I kind of avoided it. But I went to a bookstore in Pasadena. I'm sure you guys have heard about it if you like to read books. The owner, his house burnt down in the Eaton fire, so my friend and I, we wanted to go visit his bookstore and support, not only to shop small, support local businesses, but to support people that were impacted by the fire. And my friend said this book is really good along with all her other work, so I gave it a chance, and I really did enjoy it. It definitely is a page turner, and it was really interesting to me because, I mean, obviously, spoiler, this book, you're reading Yellowface as she's writing and living Yellowface, and maybe that's like the most obvious take on this book, but it was pretty interesting, and I really liked how it talked about how publicity and marketing influences so much of how we perceive books and authors, and how maybe a spike in readership is due to just really good marketing and really good publicity, which is ironic because it has the Reese Book Club sticker on it. So Arif Kwan, she's kind of living what June Hayward and Athena are living in this book. So I just think that's interesting from a marketing perspective, because I do work in marketing, and I used to work in influencer marketing specifically, and you would see like things becoming so popular and all my friends would be buying the same thing, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like it must be such a good product. No. Sometimes it is, but no, it's just like we're paying so many people to talk about something to make you convinced that this product must be it. So I thought it was really cool that she touched on it. I'm not a very critical person. Like, unless something really sucks, I will probably like it. But I do give this book like a 4.5. I just thought the person who was impersonating Athena at the end was just, like, I don't know, I felt like it should have been someone else, like someone that played a bigger role in the book. I guess you could also look at it and say that when you're in a position of power, in this case it was June, she was like the new author. When you're in a position of power, you don't really realize how the people working for you or the people working under you can internalize and really be affected by small decisions and small words and actions that you do. That was the case with this. So I definitely would recommend it if you like suspense thriller. It's not heavy on the suspense, it's not heavy on the thriller, but it definitely is like a mystery. So I recommend. Next is The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager. And this is my first time reading anything by this author as well. Like I said, I didn't read a lot of books. Not to say that I've never read before, I've clearly read a book before, but you know, whatever. I got this at the bookstore that I talked about earlier. I'll link it below. And I really like suspense novels. What I normally do is rotate like a suspense and a rom-com, or a couple of suspense and a couple of rom-coms. I just need to make sure if I'm reading something a little heavier, I read something light too, you know, I gotta balance it out. I keep making the mistake of like looking at Goodreads reviews before I read the book and like make my own decision and opinion. This book has a lot of bad reviews on Goodreads, but again, I'm not overly critical. Given the genre, I thought I read somewhere that like this is a really good camp storybook, and I just went camping recently for the first time, and this would be a really good story if someone told it around the campfire. So I think for what it is, I enjoyed it. It was a page turner. I couldn't put it down at some points. I did think that the person she was like holding hostage, spoiler, but I did think the person she was holding hostage was gonna be like Boone or something, a little like, I thought I was so smart. I actually recorded a video and I was like, I'm on page blah blah, and I think that she's not holding the husband hostage. I think she's holding Boone hostage. No, that was not it. The twist was twisted. So I enjoyed it. And you know, maybe it's not like the most cohesive thought, or maybe it's not like, there were a lot of people that were like, oh, it just seems so random. And you know, sometimes books are random and you just gotta follow the story. You won't always like it, but I enjoyed it. I did think that the twist was really interesting, and also the character's arc, the main character's arc. I thought she went from being kind of like selfish to not. So we all love a story of personal growth, don't we? I guess if I had to rate it, again, I'm not critical at all, I give this on my personal scale a 4. And last but not least, we have Beach Read by Emily Henry. And this is the first time I've read a book by Emily Henry. I know People We Meet on Vacation is really popular. She's coming out with Funny Story if she hasn't come out with it already. I'm definitely gonna keep reading more books by Emily Henry. I thought that this book was, I don't want to say incredible because it's not like a literary thing that Augustus would be writing or anything. Like, it's not going to be life world changing, you know, but there was a point, as I was saying, there was a point where I think I read like 140 pages straight through. I kind of give myself like not that much time to read. I usually try to read before bed instead of like looking at my phone or watching something. Like I said, I work 2 jobs, so I usually don't have time to just be reading like 140 pages. But I literally couldn't put it down at one point. It was just so interesting, and I feel like these characters, they really understood each other, and I was very interested in January's relationship with her dad and her family and everything. So it did have a lot going on, but I felt like everything was seamlessly put together. And honestly, this book, January, she writes a book about like the circus family, and I'm like, I kind of want the book about the circus family too. And I also want the book that Augustus read. So it's just so funny. I mean, I guess you're kind of reading pieces of it and whatever, but like a full book, I'd totally be into that. Emily Henry, if you're listening, you should write both of those books. I guess rom-coms can be a little formulaic. and you kind of know what's gonna happen, but I think the story leading up to that, like getting there, was such a journey, and there were times where I cried. I don't think I've cried from reading a book since I read The Time Traveler's Wife. It was very steamy at one point too. I was just like, whoo, whoo, like, where's my husband? I'm just kidding. He wasn't home, so just kept reading. Yeah, it was very steamy, and the steamy scene delivered. I did text my friend because my friend recommended it to me, the one I went to the bookstore with, and let me just read this to you. I texted my friend and I said, I read 110 pages of beach read, and my only thought is, can you guys already? So I was feeling the romance, I was feeling the chemistry, and it did deliver. So I really enjoyed this book. I've recommended it to people. I'm definitely going to keep reading more Emily Henry books. So I give this a 5. I do think that this was my favorite read of the month. So I hope you enjoyed this video. These are 3 books I read in March, and I really don't know if I'll be doing this every month, unless you guys want me to, because so far it is the middle of April, like I mentioned before. I'm only like 6 pages into my next read. I'm currently reading Lessons in Chemistry. I watched the Apple TV series and I really enjoyed it. So I just want to see how the book holds up, and I found it at a thrift store for only $1.91. So yeah, we'll see if we'll do this every month. Hopefully I'll read like 3 or more books, but not really sure we're gonna get there. My book TBR, to be read, for this year, I am one of those people that like made my parents and family buy me every single Harry Potter book when it came out, and I sadly never read them. I don't even think I read part of one, but I never finished it. So as a 30-year-old who really likes watching Harry Potter and probably watches them, the whole series, like once a year, I want to make that my TBR for 2025. So I'll probably document that journey as well. Thank you so much for watching this video. It's been a long 5 years, but I'm happy to be back. Like I said, if you have any content ideas or things you want to see from me, leave comments down below, and I will see you next time. Bye.